Hey guys, it's Will. Today, since it's Sunday, I'm going to talk about the crypto markets. And for this, I use TradingView because TC2000 doesn't really have the crypto. It has the some of the ETFs, but it doesn't really have the crypto. And the other thing is the ratio charts, which I'll talk about. I like to show. It's not as easy and nice to do this type of ratio charts where you're comparing different things. It's really easy with TradingView. If you want to get TradingView, if you know TradingView, you've probably used the free, but you can get $30 if you use the link in my description below the video. Because I'll talk about this, is I'm using more indicators and more watch lists, as well as alerts that are important, especially with Bitcoin, because it moves pretty quickly. So what I have here on the first screen is a screener. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for strong charts in terms of the relationship to Bitcoin. So I'm comparing everything to Bitcoin. So I'm looking at the MACD and the moving average to make sure the 20 is above the 50, and that there's a cross and you're above the 50. So there's a bit of just a basic strength check. So this refreshes, and so you can see there's not much here. So if we go to the next tab, because this is a screener page, I have a similar page with the chart as well. So it's the same watch list here. And if we click on the BNB chart, which I'm on right now, you can see that we're above the 50-day and the 20 is above the 50. So we're in a bit of a strong, we've broken this big downtrend here, and we're kind of heading upwards with BNB. There's a few others, but not that look like this, but they were strong at one point. If you go to, say, Luna, you're up here, you're heading up, and so there might be a bounce at some point, but it's broken down. What I find is over time, certain cryptos that were strong compared to Bitcoin eventually weaken quite a bit. Avalanche is heading down, not looking too good. Let's see what else. Some popular ones, Waves had a huge spike and back down again. Solana looking pretty weak. So it's not just about your individual crypto, but how is it doing compared to Bitcoin and over time as well, which can have a little bit of a burst here. So this was sort of synthetics is picking up and heading up over the 50. So it's not quite strong right now, but it looked like it was starting to head up. So anyway, this just shows that, like, I've had periods where there's been 5 or 6 or more cryptos that were in a strong relative strength. But over time, they don't do as well compared to Bitcoin. So then we go to the crypto itself, which is just the straight crypto in relation to US dollar. And even if some of these are up today, you have to look at the charts, like this one here, really negative. So it's just a good way to compare to Bitcoin and see what it's doing, because a lot of times they might have little blips here and there, but they're not doing too great. But they do have a period of time. Monero. So if the chart looks good, sometimes you should still look at it in comparison with Bitcoin. So anyway, as I mentioned, if I click on this arrow here, I've got a whole bunch of indicators, and a whole bunch of watch lists. And that's limited with the free trial or the free version. So I think, and the other thing is the indicators that are on here. What I've done in one of the cases, I used somebody wrote a custom, which is an indicator which has 3 moving averages at the same time. But I got volatility stops, volume, EMA as well. So anyway, you can get a $30 value if you get use the link in the description below for TradingView. But what I was going to say is that alerts are another thing you can do. Like if you click on this, you can add an alert. There might be like where it crosses a moving average or a volatility stop. So those are really important when you have a cryptocurrency. So what I wanted to talk about specifically is Bitcoin and Ethereum are kind of the two strongest ones, but I'm mostly going to be focusing on Bitcoin, as I mentioned. But let's just see here. If I can find it, I'm going to sort here just by symbol. So if we go to Ethereum, we're in kind of a range. It's kind of like a bear flag. It's a big one, but you have this downtrend, and then you get this little bit up-sloping lows and highs, which can kind of be a bear flag. And then so you can see right here that we're kind of breaking it. And so you can see that for quite some time because you hit this high point. Well, it wasn't quite. It was more of a bounce at the 200 MA. Because when you have one point here, you don't know where it's going to be. But you broke it to 200, and then you head down. Once you get the red volatility stops, big down candle, bearish engulfing candle, and you're down below these moving averages, like the purple one, which is the 17. You're in this downtrend again. So some people might want to buy here and ride it up and down a trend channel, but you've broken this channel right now. And if we go to Bitcoin, similar situation. You have kind of a bear flag. There's a few lines here, but this is kind of a downtrend, upward little sloping bear flag. And then you've broken down through that. And now you're at this sort of a support around 34.5, somewhere around there. And so that's looking pretty bad. And then you have this other support. If I scroll back a bit, you have this line way down here at about 30,000. So it looks like, we could head to 30, and then if you get below that. So I'm going to switch to the weekly chart. And I'm going to just spread this out a bit. So on the weekly chart, you can see that like when you have a falling wedge, and then you bounce at the 50-week, and then when you're in an uptrend and you have this pullback, this can be a bull flag, so it kind of pulls back and then it heads up again. So that's like a flag, all right? So the shape is important, but anyway, you can see that we have kind of right here, we have what called an evening star. It's like a reversal. So you could see that as a reversal, or you could see this, as a bear flag, and now you've broken down. So you're right at kind of the low points here, and these are negative candles. So it's looking really bad. The other thing with the weekly momentum is you have this, it slowly came up a bit and then it pulled back down. So one thing you can notice is that you're not at the zero line. When you're above zero, it's pretty strong. But even if you have a cross and you're below zero, it may not, sustain itself. So we've curled back down on a weekly chart and we're crossed down again. And this is heading down, stochastics as well. So it's looking really bad. I just want to go back one more time and look at the comparison charts, because I want to look at Ethereum just so you can see. Let's just scroll down a little bit. Ethereum BTC. So these are priced in BTC, not US dollars. So it's looking pretty good. You have this uptrend, pullback, and now at the 50, there's some support. But you need to see some strength right there. But just in terms of trading, I'm not talking about like the specifics of the coin itself. But that's basically all I wanted to say. And if you want to put alerts like right here at the 50, or something. Or the other thing you can do in your investment account, wherever you trade, if you buy crypto, or let's say Binance, something like that, you can put like a buy order in at a certain point. Like so, let's go back to Bitcoin. So you could put a buy order in like at 30,000 or 20,000 or whatever, and it'll just sit there until if it pops down and hits that point. But like for trading in that, you're trying to look at the charts and see like an uptrend. I'm just going to switch this back to daily. But you can see from the weekly how bad that is. And we're right at a sort of a point. Now you can get a bounce at the support. You know, you could have had a bounce at the channel, but you didn't. But this is looking like this is heading down even on the daily. You can see the MACD is heading down. So, you know, you can get a reversal at this point, around these points here. You have people buying, you know, in the past around this point. So we'll see what happens. But I use TradingView for crypto stuff because I like to use the comparison chart. So in TC2000, you can compare, you can have like an indicator underneath which has like the S&P or the NASDAQ or something. But for just easily doing ratio charts, you can do it. All you have to do is, well, in this case, it's related to BTC, but for stocks, if I have a ratio, I can just divide them. I can just go like this and say RK divided by QQQ. So that would be ARK in relation to the NASDAQ. It's really simple that way. And you can compare any two charts you want. And you can see that, you know, relative to the NASDAQ, it's been going down. So when you look at like even stocks or ETFs, you want to compare it to some strong benchmark and find out what is the best stocks or ETFs to be getting into. It doesn't make sense to put things, you know, put your money into weaker things that aren't doing as well as other things. All right, that's all I want to say for today. So we'll talk to you guys later.